Before I talk, I really like to try to be as empty as possible. Empty yourself out too if you like. Lord, please increase my bewilderment. The bewilderment of spirit. The spirit which isn't in the ether, nor is it in the world. It's a place which has no tangibility, and a place which also has no divine presence either. It's purely the movement of the atoms in space, or the atoms that are space. In time, which is the only thing that keeps us here. True bewilderment would be to live each moment as if it is your first, without even the concept of first. Here it all is, and there was never anything else, and there never will be, and there never even is right now. Yet here it all arises. If there's never been a moment before this one, and there never will be again, then what is the concept of a human, or a body, or a self, or a wall, or a bed, or enemies, or traitors, or love, or loss? It's just pure awareness and existence in a singularity. All things are written stagnant, like a disc with all the information already written upon it. And we're moving through it, rung by rung. The awareness is. It was just like a story being told. It's like if you open a book and you read a page and you're only aware of that one line of that one page at the moment that you're reading it. But the whole book is laid out behind you and in front of you. And for some reason, you think there's a future and a past, but in reality that entire book is existing in that very second. Even though you're only reading a singular line of it, you're holding the whole book, but your awareness is focused in on one single line. But that's not to say that the past and the future exist as separate concepts. Rather, they all exist within that one present moment. Because the book is already there, whole, intact. There's no separation between the beginning and the end of the book. It's one book. You just so happen to be honed in on one line of that one book. It's like if you look at your lover and you're looking them only in the eyes. Does the rest of their body exist in the future or the past? No, it all exists now, right now. It all exists right now, in this very second. You're just not aware of it. And increasing the bewilderment is to lose your focus on a singular aim or a small little place in time. When the time itself isn't important, because all of it already exists in the very moment that you are in. Increasing your bewilderment is losing your focus, allowing the book's pages to flip on their own. Seeing that that symbol is no different from that symbol. Not taking things from the past in order to inform your present, and not using things from the present in order to inform your future. But rather just allowing the book to unfold on its own, and recognizing that that whole book is already complete. Even before you get to that last page, it's already complete. And you're no more or less complete, regardless of the page that you're on, because you're only seeing one part of your own body as well. There's another vaster awareness that is your awareness that's right now only slithering through a tiny aspect of the body. But your final page is already intact with your first and your middle as well. It's all whole. Nothing that ever happens can make you lose a piece of yourself. You've never lost a piece of yourself. You're no less whole just because you're unsatisfied with the whole of you doesn't mean that you're less whole. This is the whole of you. One word is not removed from the rest of the book. That is one part of the whole of the book. A leaf on the top of the tree is part of the tree. Without the leaf, the roots could not expand. Without the leaf, the trunk could not grow. Without the trunk, the leaf could not grow. Without the roots, the trunk could not grow, and then the leaf could not grow. You're identifying yourself with the leaf, but the tree, every part of it is your whole body. But right now you only feel like you're the leaf because you need the sun and you need the food to survive. You feel like that's your job, but it's just as much your job to creep out underneath the earth and search for water. But you didn't know that because you're identifying with the leaf. But then that means when a leaf has a certain desire, it says, I need more of this nutrient. But I can't get it. I'm only a leaf. I don't have that kind of power. How could I possibly get nutrients which come from the soil when I'm all the way up here? I'm so poor. But then that desire and that need slowly travels down the trunk of the tree to its roots which gather that for you and bring it back up. And then you say, oh, what a blessing. God has blessed me. The abundance is upon me. But in reality, it was yourself all along. You just didn't see the other end of the book, of the chapter, of your own body, of yourself, gathering those nutrients for you because one piece of yourself needed it, sending it right back up. Right now we are ordered. We have order. We live in sequence. We live sequential lives. But to increase that bewilderment means to stop identifying with a singular part and becoming the whole. Dissolving your role as a leaf. And I think that the fear comes from, well, if I dissolve my role as the leaf, how can I protect myself? How will I still be able to get the sunlight? That's my role. I need to pay attention. I need to be aware. Yeah, but if you were the whole tree, you'd still be able to do all those things. You'd just be more aware. It would all be even more efficient. You wouldn't just be identifying with the need for sunlight, but you'd be identifying with the root system as well, and you'd be identifying with touching the entire microbial network which runs throughout the entire forest. And then maybe you're not just a tree after all either, but you're the whole of the forest that depends on each other. It's one thing, and the other tree sends you nutrients because you need it. And you forget that's just how it was with the leaf and the roots. It thought that it sent out a need, and then it was reciprocated by some outside authority. But that other tree isn't just another chapter of that same book of you. Let go of the need to feel as though you have this one role, this one purpose, this one job. And just allow yourself to be taken. And you'll realize there's still something within you that's putting together all the pieces of the puzzle. There's something more than just a leaf. And here the whole system still works, even though your identity with just a leaf has dissolved. Still all coming together, morphing into itself, creeping outward and expanding. That's how any idea arises in my mind anyways. Anything that I've said during this video, anything I say at all. It just happens through me. Like how the roots don't know why they're suddenly needing to gather all this extra nutrients. They just know that's happening through them. And it gets sent up to the leaf who needed it. But the roots didn't know that because they were identifying with being roots. They just did what was happening through them, what they felt as though was what they needed to be doing at that moment. But I try my best to make myself empty enough to let it all just sort of happen without identifying with the role of the doer, the happener. I'm just one of my favorite quotes ever, which it's actually something that I say a lot. And that means a lot to me, or that it's sort of just everything. And it's who I try to be. I think it's by Lao Tzu. We mold clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that makes it useful. I'll talk about that one more in another video, but just simmer on it.